Use thy voice, Sarah! Fill the sky! Bring the little brats to die!
Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of magic.
Don't listen to her! Hey, up here! Don't listen to her!
Max, I figured it out.
What?
Winifred said, the candle's magic will soon be spent, and dawn approaches. The black flame candle only brought them back for this one Halloween night. And unless they can steal the lives of children, when the sun comes up, they're dust.
Well, how can we make the sun come up? They've got Danny. We need a miracle.
All right. Oh. Welcome to a very special podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about your favorite television shows from yesteryear as we black out. Did I get that right?
Pretty much, I think, yeah.
But this week it's Halloween. Like, it's really Halloween right now.
Yeah, I think so.
But I know we've been slowly leading up to it, but we're here. It's Halloween. The dead shall return tonight, supposedly. That's the, Oh, shit. Did we forget the sound effects machine?
Hold on. Let me pull it up. I forgot about that, actually.
Is there like a scary sound that can play like the whole time? Like maybe like a storm or like a haunted house noise?
Actually, you want a storm?
Yeah, or like, a storm will work. Or like a slasher movie.
Hold on.
Does it keep playing though? Is it like...
Hold on, let me see if I can find...
You have a noisemaker? Anyways, while you're doing that, I'm Patrick M. Dunn. You may remember me from the previous, 28, 29-ish episodes of the podcast. In case this is your first time at the rodeo, go to a very special podcast.tumblr.com. Did I get it right?
Yes, a very special podcast.tumblr.com.
Go there. You can listen to all our previous episodes, or you can find them on iTunes or YouTube, and follow us on Twitter at verypodcast. And
correct.
Do we have anything else? Or is that it? Do we have a SoundCloud?
We have a cafe press store. We have a cafe press store, which we have not talked about in ages.
Maybe the first week we had it. So there's a link to it on our Tumblr.
Yeah, there's a link on the website.
And you can buy mugs and mouse pads and...
Yeah, help support the show, because if you support us, we can bring you more of our amazing, wacky material for you.
Yeah, so we might be able to buy those hanging mics, which we've been dying for. So maybe we should do I was going to say a GoFundMe, but I think that's when people are sick, right?
Yeah, I think those are for people that are sick.
Okay, and I'm joined here, as always, by Kat Halstead, who's an author. She writes books for a living. She currently has she has many books out, but it's Halloween, and she has a book called The Ouija Board?
The Spirit Board.
The Spirit Board. And it's about a sexy demon who haunts teens. And the demon just happens to look like Jared Leto in the 1990s. Yeah, he just happens
to look like a 90s Jared Leto.
So, we've discussed this fully in detail in previous podcasts, but...
His name is Donovan. Hopefully I have something special posted by now about the Spirit Board.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
So... I don't know, you can find that at cathalstead.com or Amazon. You can search for it.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, pretty much anywhere you can request it.
And it's a short story. It's not like a full-length book.
Yeah, no, it's short. I recently just reread it to get reaccustomized to the material for something I'm working on. And it took me like an hour to read like the whole thing.
And I will read it aloud in case you are blind. And I will be drunk.
Oh, you will you?
Want to do
I don't have to do my special project after all.
Do you want me to do like a drunk audiobook?
Can you hear the sound?
No, sorry.
No.
Retweet us if you hear the sound. Anyway, it's Halloween. All month. I thought I heard like thunder or something. Is that real or is that from your machine?
It's my sleep sound app.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Oh well. I tried. In case you've been listening to this all October, we've been doing Halloween-themed episodes. We are pretty much at the end of it now, so we're going out with a bang. So we're watching something I've never seen before, believe it or not.
Okay, this actually I need to turn this off. I don't know how to turn this off.
Oh, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm turning off my phone because it wouldn't turn off.
Yeah, just shut it off and turn it back on. And then you can ask Google random questions. So
hopefully we don't have to Google anything.
We'll figure it out. So, as I said, Halloween is here now, and we decided to do something special. We're doing something I've never seen before. This is like the first time I've watched this movie. And it's been out for like 23 years, maybe?
Yeah, 22 years. Did you do what I told you to do? Get some popcorn, get some candy, make a night out of it.
No. I mean, I made a night out of it, but I definitely had some kind of snack. I don't remember what, but I didn't make popcorn.
Oh. That's a shame.
So, if you didn't read the description, we watched Hocus Pocus, the 1993?
Yes.
Disney movie?
1993. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine.
Now, this was a theatrical release, or was this Disney Channel? I have no idea.
Theatrical release.
Okay, because
this was in the theaters. I remember going to the theater to see this.
You saw this in the theaters?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I totally remember going. It was in the middle of summer, which was like the stupidest time to release it.
Oh, it came out in the summer?
Yeah, it came out in like July. Hello, why would you release this in July and not the first weekend in October?
Which was like 3 months later.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a leftover movie that they just didn't have any hope with.
Actually, excuse me, as I finished that candy corn.
Candy corn.
It was. Yes, I have a whole little bowl of candy corn.
I didn't bring any snacks with me this time. I just brought booze.
I have candy corn and graham crackers. I didn't want to get too drunk, and I already finished one drink, so yeah. Anyways, it was originally meant for the Disney Channel. Like, the script was written to be like a Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, it totally has that vibe.
Yeah, but it got noticed by a higher up studio head who was like, no, this has to be a theatrical release with some bigger names than like whoever you're going to get from Disney Channel.
Is it because
in 1992?
Is it because it had like Bette Midler in it, so she was a star?
No, it was before they had Bette Midler in it. Like, they just read the script and were like, we got to get bigger. We got to get like some real people in this.
Not Bette Midler's cousin.
This is Bette Midler's favorite movie that she's ever done.
For real?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I mean, she's been in like Beaches and.
Okay, let's talk. Can we be real? Beaches is pretty freaking depressing. You gotta watch that with like a bottle of Chardonnay and a box of tissues because you're gonna cry your eyes out.
I've never seen it, so you just ruined it for me. Now I know somebody dies. Does Beach die? Is Bette Midler Beach?
No.
Why is it called Beaches? Does it take place at a beach?
Because the girls meet at a beach, and important parts of their lives take place at the beach. So, beaches.
Okay, makes sense. What else has Bette Midler done? To be honest with you, I don't even fucking know.
Oh gosh, she's done all kinds of stuff. TV, theater,
Name
movies.
name 2 more movies.
Wind Beneath My Wings.
That was a movie? I know it was a song.
Crap, maybe that's not the title of the movie.
Isn't that song from Beaches?
Yeah, it's from Beaches. Never mind.
you just shat.
She did the Woody Allen movie, Scenes from Wall. It is the only Woody Allen movie I have ever watched, and it's going to be the only Woody Allen movie I ever watch.
I've only seen one Woody Allen movie too. It was the Manhattan Murder Mystery. And it probably will be the only Woody Allen movie I'll watch.
She did one a few years ago with Billy Crystal, where they played parents who went to go visit their grown-up daughter and they took care of the kids. It was actually a really cute little funny movie.
Okay. And then she did Hocus Pocus somewhere in betwixt all this.
Yes.
Now, all right, so this movie came out in the summer. It was originally intended to be on Disney Channel, but they pushed it up to the theatrical release. They added Sarah Jessica Parker to the cast, and the lady...
Kathy Najimy.
That's her name. I didn't know how to pronounce her name, but she does the voice of Peggy Hill on King of the Hill.
Yes, she does.
And that's about all I really know her from.
Hello, Sister Act and Sister Act 2.
No. I'm aware of those movies, but...
Okay, those movies were like my everything when I was younger. But that's probably because when I was in chorus in middle school, in the 8th grade, we actually performed a medley of songs from Sister Act. So those movies have a special place in my heart.
What's a song from Sister Act? Like, what's the name of a song? Would I know one?
If you heard them, you would know them.
All right.
Because, like, in that movie, Whoopi Goldberg's character took, like, poppy 60s songs and switched them up and put in God or Jesus instead of, like, my boyfriend.
I mean, it could work, right?
Oh.
Apparently,
yeah, it works.
It apparently did work
Next
because...
time they're on ABC Family, sit down and watch. No, it's going to be Freeform.
What's Freeform?
So, that's going to be... ABC Family is changing its name to Freeform.
What does that mean? I don't get it.
I don't know.
And I'm free falling. That's where the first place my mind went to. All right, so since this is my first time seeing Hocus Pocus, I have no memories of it. So, do you have any special memories with this movie? Because apparently this is like a white girl's paradise. This movie.
This probably is like one of those cheesy white girl tropes where it's fall, and Halloween, you gotta watch Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is not actually my favorite Halloween movie. Mine are probably the Addams Family movies. But I love Hocus Pocus. I think it gets played a little too much throughout the year, though.
Yeah, I guess, well, it's kind of like the Christmas Story. It's like 24 hours of fucking Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, you could probably... There have definitely been days where Hocus Pocus airs on one channel, it ends, and it goes and starts airing on another channel.
You can just...
That one ends,
and
it's re-airing on the other channel. It was like, I remember sitting there going, wait, why did my TiVo record Hocus Pocus 15 times today?
And white girls on Facebook, they changed their avatar to like Bette Midler as the witch.
Bette Midler is one of her.
Is that her name? I don't remember any of these characters' names. So I'm just going to call them by their actor's name or the boy or the blonde girl.
Wait, which blonde girl?
The not Thora Birch, but the older one.
Allison.
Yeah, Allison. So it's just so the movie basically stars Kathy Najimy, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Thora Birch, the girl, the blonde girl, the boy, the cat.
Yes.
And like
the cat.
Penny Marshall's in it too?
Gary Marshall and Penny Marshall are both in it.
Oh, that was Gary Marshall?
Yeah, that was Gary Marshall.
You know, I thought that. I was like, that might have been Gary Marshall, but I wasn't like 100% sure.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie. That Gary Marshall and Penny Marshall play husband and wife.
And they hate each other. Lavon. All right, so should we get into the movie, or should we just kind of gossip?
Yeah, let's get into the movie.
All right, so the movie opens in the 1690s?
1693.
In, supposedly it's Salem, Massachusetts, correct?
Yes.
All right, which I didn't really look up the historical background of this movie, but does it line up with the Salem witch trials?
I think a little bit.
I wasn't sure. I mean, the one thing
I didn't really look into that. They made it sound like the Sanderson sisters were the most famous of the Salem witch trials, but there was no trial. They just got hung.
Yeah, they skipped the trial part. But I kind of have a little bit of background on the Salem witch trials. Now, I know Salem, Massachusetts now, today, it's not in the same location that the Salem witch trials happened. It's the next town over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in the town of Danvers is where Salem Village was. And then I guess Salem moved. I don't know. I just can't remember that from history class for some reason. That's just all I remember.
Well, yeah, because you would know that because you grew up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, and they teach that kind of shit. So I might have paid attention that day, but I only paid attention to a certain degree just because I have that bit of knowledge, and I should have gone up ahead of time and looked it up, but I was I'm sure Kat will know it for some reason, or she's already got it right here, page 4 of my notes.
I only have 3 pages.
All right, so it's the 1600s. There's a young boy, a teenager, I think.
Yes, he's probably 15 or so. That's my guess.
He has a funny name, right?
Thackeray.
Not Zachary, but Thackeray?
Yeah.
T-H.
Thackeray.
Is that a real name?
Probably. I mean, they all had weirdish names back then.
Like George.
Zachary, Raya, Ezekiah.
Ezekiel.
Kind of like a boo.
Yeah, but they had normal names too, like Abigail and George.
Sarah and
Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin.
Way before Thomas Jefferson and George Washington.
Not that much before, though. Only a century.
Yeah.
Not even a full century, a half century before.
True.
So Thackeray wakes up and he feels witches walking by his house, or he sees a witch's shadow.
No, he wakes up and he realizes it's early in the morning. He wakes up and his sister's gone.
Yeah, but you see a shadow, or you something startles him to make him wake up, though, right?
I don't know. I didn't pick up that there's something that woke him up. Just that he woke up because he lives on a freaking farm. They get up at the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah, because they have to sow seeds and rake hay and milk cows and shit. And they got to do that shit early because you don't have sun that long.
Yeah.
So you got to get it early. But I thought the movie opens up with an aerial shot, and that's supposed to be the witch flying, and then the witch kind of goes down, so you see a shadow move or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying that much attention.
And I believe it's Sarah Jessica Parker because she's kind of the Pied Piper, and she lures children.
The siren of it all.
She sings a lullaby, and the kids, I guess, just wake up and blindly follow her into the woods.
Yeah.
To their witchy shack.
Every parent's worst nightmare.
And it's not even that far away. It's walking distance away too.
Well, yeah, it was walking distance, but it's still it's deep in the woods. It's hidden behind all the trees.
And nobody goes there. You kind of gather.
Yeah, kind of thing. Everybody's kind of sketched out. I looked it up. This is around the peak of the Salem witch trials. So you're going to be kind of sketched out if you see purple smoke suddenly coming from the forest.
And, all right, so it's the Salem witch trials. Everybody's freaking out because someone accidentally, floated when they weren't supposed to float, so they're a witch. All this mania is basically going on, but there's actually 3 legitimate witches. The Sanderson sisters.
Yeah.
And they live in the woods, and they are actual witches. They have, a spell book that's made out of, human flesh and an eyeball.
Yeah, it's so creepy.
And, the book is alive, though, so
Yeah.
If you tell the book, like, oh, hey, book, like, I need a spell to make these kids die forever, and then we inherit their, like, youth, he will, like, flip to the page where the spell is.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like an old-fashioned form of Google. Like, intuitive.
Oh, yeah, it's, like, totally Google. It's basically like my phone right now.
All right, so...
Like, I could Google something, and it'll tell me.
Is your phone turned back on?
Speak it out the way we like it to, but...
Is your phone turned back on?
Yeah, it's turned back on.
See if it will find you a spell. Like, ask if it will find you, like, a love spell.
Find me a love spell.
Any luck?
188 free love spells and potions.
See? That's Google, is this spell book, is Bette Midler's spell book.
Yep.
So, Hocus Pocus predicted modern Google search technology. You have it there. Are you actually, like, reading the spells?
Yeah, I have.
Now, they do something, like, very stereotypical in this. Like, they have the ingredients to make spells. It's always, like, something gross, like a man's toe or a man's tongue.
These are, like, you need... Oh, this one's kind of sketch.
Like sage.
This one's, like, take the photos and place them at the bottom of your underwear drawer. Wait, what are these photos? That was a little sketch. But it's like you need a sampler size of your favorite scent, a pink candle.
Modern day witchcraft.
This one has a charred stick, dried rose petals, red parchment, fire or red candle, and heat-proof container. So these are a little sketch.
So you throw that shit into the heat-proof container and then, I guess, like, light it on fire?
Again, this one is just 2 drams of hazelnut oil, 1 pinch of seaweed, 1 pinch of sea salt, a pebble, and a seashell.
Is
For
it
the mermaid's love spell.
a mermaid's love spell?
Yeah.
All right, we should definitely try one of these and see if it works.
Well, you're the one who could use a little lovin'.
Want me to see if I can find myself a mermaid?
I'll send you the link to this.
All right, we'll tweet it out. So follow us at Very Podcast on Twitter, and if you want to find a love spell, we will find one for you. That is our gift to you for being a listener.
That is your treat for Halloween.
You will find true love. Or
I don't know if we can guarantee that.
Or end up in jail for stalking somebody. One of the two.
We might help you get laid one night. I don't know.
Who knows? So
yeah.
Bette Midler's character, the Sanderson of Bette Midler, she's working on the potion. I guess what she wants to do is she's gonna steal the soul of children to make them younger and live forever.
Yeah. Basically, she sucks out all of their youth, thus killing them. But in sucking it out, it sucks into the sisters because all 3 sisters suck it out. Like, you have to see it because they start glowing this, like, gray, smoky haze around the child, and they start breathing it in, like...
Yeah, like, the kid, like, lights up, like, illuminates, and then, like, smoke comes off the kid, so this must be, like, the kid's essence. So it's,
it's
Thackeray's
like
little sister.
aura.
So Thackeray's little sister, she's, like, under spell, and the 3 sisters are, like, taking her essence. And then, I guess, the girl dies, but they don't really show her dying. You just kind of find out about it later on.
Yeah, because I think they kind of, like... It's a Disney movie, so they don't want to show that.
Yeah, but like, so the girl dies, and then the witches, like, they probably, like, de-age maybe, like, 50 years. They become 50 years younger.
Yeah.
And
Because at first they're really haggard. They got gray hair. They got the wrinkled skin. The, like, creepy fingers where, like, all you see are, like, bone and knuckle with skin hanging off.
yeah, they're probably like 400 years old at this time. So now they look younger, but I guess they're not young enough. Like, they need every kid in town. Is that how it goes?
Every witch wants to look younger because they have supposedly eternal life. So if you have eternal life, do you want to look like a 25-year-old hottie, or do you want to look like a 75-year-old hag?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought like they did pretty good for one kid though. Like, then they needed more kids. Like, would they become like
more?
Yeah, like would they become like a fetus at that point? Like, what would happen?
I don't know. It's just like all those ladies who get plastic surgery all the time because they're so desperate to look younger. Eventually, you don't look like yourself anymore.
So, witchcraft is like the 16th, 17th century version of plastic surgery. Is
exactly
what we're getting to. Dr. 90210 did not exist yet. And you know what? Actually, when the Sanderson sisters got to the present day, all they had to do was just go to, like, a plastic surgeon, and it probably would have solved all their problems.
Well, if they had known what a plastic surgeon was... remember, they thought that the Blacktop Road was a river.
And a river you can walk on.
Yeah.
But they also knew the lyrics to I Put a Spell on You, even though that was a song like written in like the 1960s or something.
That's true.
So there's definitely, they did a little bit research when they got Back to the Future.
Like maybe they picked up on a couple things here and there.
Like, yeah, weren't they in a library for a little while?
Maybe they heard the song while they were on the bus.
Yeah, like maybe that song was playing. Like it was just it was a deleted scene. Who knows?
Maybe.
All right, so they want to look younger. They get one kid, kill the kid. They become greedy and want more. But right at that moment, Thackeray arrives.
Yes.
Well, I think he was like kind of spying on them for a few minutes, just trying to see what was going on.
Yeah, he was trying to see what the hell they were doing to his little sister, because he actually gives a damn about his little sister.
And he basically watches her die. She's dead, and they don't show it.
That's traumatizing for anybody.
Yeah. So now he's kind of like in a battle with the three hags. So they kind of like get in a fight.
Yeah.
They're using magic. He's attacking them. Now, like, there's another kid though that like alerted the townsmen.
Yeah, because there was another kid that was on the farm who's probably like a farmhand or something. And Thackeray was like, "Go get my parents, blah, blah, blah. I gotta go find Emily."
So the parents rally up the town. They all get like pitchforks and torches, and they're now marching the witch house.
Yeah.
And now, do the witches turn Thackeray into a cat first, and then they get hung? What's the order of?
Yeah, they turn him into the black cat, and they curse him that he has to live forever as a black cat.
And he can talk too as a cat.
Yeah, because he can still talk, kind of like Salem the cat on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Is that what happened to Salem the cat on Sabrina the Teenage Witch? He was cursed?
No, Salem the cat was a warlock who got turned into a cat as punishment.
Okay.
For breaking some kind of like witches' council rule or something.
Oh, okay. But Thackeray is just cursed as a cat.
Yeah.
And now the townsmen don't realize this. They don't know this happened. They just assume the boy is missing or also killed by the witches.
Yeah, they think that the witches killed Thackeray too. They don't know what happens to Thackeray because they never find him. They don't find his body.
Yeah.
They don't find any clues. They don't know what these crazy witches did to him.
And despite Thackeray as a cat being able to talk, he never reaches out to any people in the town to let them know, and maybe they can.
Well, one, I think he maybe doesn't know right away that he can talk.
Okay.
Because I think he's still kind of stunned, like, I'm in a cat, what do I do?
Like, fuck, this sucks.
Like, think about it, you're turned into a cat. Is your first thought could be, let me talk like a human?
Yeah, well, I guess
what the hell am I doing as a cat?
You gotta learn how to, like, walk, I guess, on cat feet. Maybe it's hard.
Yeah.
You're used to your human hands and feet.
Yeah, and plus, this is Salem during the height of the witch trials.
Yeah, but
Last thing you need is somebody thinking your father is a witch because you talk to him.
yeah, I guess you're right. You could be right.
Oh.
So, the townsmen decide that they're just gonna kill what are their names? Sandersons?
Sanderson.
The Sanderson sisters right then and there. There's no trial. They're immediately accused of witchcraft, killing 2 kids, Thackeray and Thackeray's sister. Emily. Now, just before they die, Bette Midler curses the town.
Yeah, one of the other people had the book and they dropped it, and Bette Midler is able to control the book and get a spell.
Real quick, yeah.
Yeah, because she can still do that because she's a powerful witch. And she gets a spell where she curses the town of Salem that says, if a virgin lights the black flame candle on All Hallows Eve, we will come back, and if we can survive until sunset and steal your children's youth or whatever, we will survive and rise again.
That's a very specific curse, too, to lay on the
Yeah.
Like, she couldn't have, given herself more time than, then sunset. Could have been, maybe, a week.
Yeah, it's till sunset. Oh,
Yeah.
There has to be a full moon on that All Hallows Eve. And
Oh, is it even that specific?
yeah, it was that specific. It was really specific.
Is it she thought of this, or only, the book, magic has a weird catch to it?
Maybe it was in the book. It was kind of like she saw the book, and she was kind of trying to read the spell. It was weird.
Well, I mean...
Because the book wasn't, the book didn't float to her. The book was still down on the ground, just, flipped to a page.
Well, she got her youth back, so now, she has better eyes, so she can, read far away. And at night. She can see at night, too.
Wish I could see.
All right, so
at night. I wish I had better vision.
I'm going to go outside. I'm going to throw a book, 50 feet away from me and see if I can read the page at night.
Dude, I can't read a book, unless I can barely read the screen in front of me because I need new glasses. I gotta put, my font up way big.
Yeah. Well, your screen says Sanderson's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And I can barely read it. I have to, zoom in. That's the reason why I know their name, is because it keeps saying Sanderson's sister.
That's kind of what.
All right, so now we flash forward 300 years. It's Halloween Day in 1993. Or something like that.
Yeah, the teacher, I don't know if she's a history or a literature teacher or what, but she's all into this, telling this story to these high school students who, let's be real, if these sisters are as big of a deal as everybody seems to think they are, these kids have probably heard this goddamn story every effing year since kindergarten. It only gets more gruesome each year.
Well, a lot of the kids look kind of bored, except for the boy. He's new to school.
Well, he kind of is really people. He's okay, this is town history, but what? The only person really into this is Allison.
The girl. The blonde girl?
Yeah.
So
the blonde girl.
And we later find out that her mom, owns the Sanderson house and turned it into a museum. Which has since been closed.
The city owns it. How is this house still standing after 300 years? Were people that afraid to, tear it down?
And not only that, but there's the black candle, which, supposedly will wreak havoc on the town. They just let that lying around.
They just leave it. They don't put it in a case. They put the spell book in a case.
Yeah,
but they don't put the black flame candle, which is if some stupid virgin lights it on a full moon Halloween night, we're all fucked.
And the house is set up exactly the same way it was 300 years before.
Nothing's changed. Maybe some cases here, maybe a cash register. I'm come on now.
They didn't paint the walls. They didn't I don't know, rebuild the building because 17,000 hurricanes happened between now and then.
I find it hard to believe that house is still standing. I could understand maybe a reproduction.
Yeah, the house burnt down.
Unless the witches put some kind of spell on the house that it was indestructible.
I mean, that could have happened before the movie started.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the only way that house could still be standing.
Is there a prequel or like a novelization of the movie that kind of gets a little more in
Not
depth?
that I'm aware of.
Any like crazy fan fiction out there that gets into it?
Oh my god, I don't know. I'm a little afraid to check for fan fiction for Hocus Pocus.
That is a scary
If you have
avenue.
any Hocus Pocus fan fiction, tweet us the link at Very Podcast, and one of us will check it out.
Yeah, that's like when we tweeted like that we got that Small Wonder like role playing game Twitter account that tweeted us.
I still don't understand what that was. It was so weird.
Oh, that was great. That thing needs to tweet us again. We'll have to tweet it. All right, so now we're in the future. Oh, 1993. It's not really the future. And so the boy kind of has a crush on Allison, I guess, for some reason.
Yes, his name is Max.
Okay, his name's Max, and he writes his phone number down on a piece of paper to give to Allison, and she gives it back to him, right?
Yeah, she gives it back to him. So, like, he, like, makes this whole big deal in class. He's like, Halloween was invented by the candy company. And then he has the steel cojones in the middle of class to hand Allison his phone number when she's like, well, actually, Halloween is part of this ancient ritual, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, yeah, well, maybe you should call me sometime. It was so weird. I did not know a single boy who would have, at like, what are they, 15, 16?
Something like that.
Had the balls to give a girl his number in the middle of class.
After he pretty much kind of like was condescending because he ends up finding out that she basically like runs Halloween in their town, or her family does. And they have these like elaborate Halloween parties too.
Well, he doesn't know that yet. He just thinks she's like really into the whole witch thing.
And I mean, I don't blame her because she lives in Salem, Massachusetts. Like, they're all probably into it. They all probably like are Halloweenies.
You gotta be. If you're not, you're just gonna be miserable.
And like, I can understand like if you don't like Halloween and then you, I don't know, you're like an angry teen and you just end up being there. But I'd probably just like keep it to myself for a while just to kind of like see how everyone feels about it.
Just kind of like go with the flow.
Yeah.
Just, like let it be.
Like if they want to do stupid Halloween thing, just stay home. You know, like who cares?
Yeah, you don't have to like, unless your parents make you go out and take your sister trick or treating. Like you really don't have to do jack shit.
And maybe if he wasn't that much of a jerk about it, maybe he would have lost his virginity before like the sunset that night.
I mean, yeah, seriously, it's a Disney movie, though.
I know, but it could have happened, and then the whole like movie could have been avoided.
Well, no, because that had to have happened before he lit the candle.
That's what I was saying. If he was like a lot nicer to Allison, maybe when he first went to her house, maybe they would have had a little romancing.
No.
And then they would have gone to
No.
the house and lit the candle, and nothing would have happened. But, you know, he was probably a douchebag in Hollywood, where he was from, so...
Yeah, they're like, everybody makes fun of him because he wears tie-dye and he's from L.A.
Oh, yeah, he totally
Apparently-
was wearing tie-dye. I think, doesn't...
Apparently tie-dye and L.A. go together. I didn't know that.
I think tie-dye in the 90s just go together in general. But
I don't know. I still wear tie-dye sometimes. So.
I would wear... But I will say, though, having lived in Massachusetts in 1993... we definitely wore tie-dye hair. It wasn't just a Los Angeles thing.
Yeah, I feel like tie-dye kind of had a resurgence in the 90s.
Yeah, especially it was like 93, 94, 95. It was like the height of it.
Because I feel like the tie-dye and the plaid t-shirt, not the leather, like the plaid shirt over the plaid flannel.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
then, like Jordan Catalano's outfit in every episode of My So-Called Life.
Yeah, like something Jordan or Angela or Rayanne would have worn is like tie-dye and flannel, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, these kids really weren't into that. Well, I mean, Max wore tie-dye, but... okay.
No, so like the Ice and the other bully, they definitely had plaid on.
Did they? I thought like one of them had a leather jacket on, though, didn't they?
One of them, like, but they had like the plaid shirt wrapped around their waist and tied.
Oh, and then Ice had his name like shaved into the back of his head too.
Oh my god!
And the other kid had,
Oh my God.
long, Kurt Cobain blondish hair.
Yeah.
It was bleach blonde.
Oh, totally.
I think he was the one who wore the leather jacket, too.
Yeah, he did. He wore not a fedora, but some kind of hat, with a brim hat.
Oh, yeah. I would have not... Yeah, I guess kind of like a top hat, but not quite a top hat. A brim hat? A brimmed hat?
Yeah, it's like a brim hat. It wasn't a fedora. It wasn't a bucket hat. It was somewhere in between.
Maybe something like Pharrell would wear now?
Yes.
So
something like that.
Maybe that's where Pharrell got this style. He was like, oh,
he totally got his style from Hocus Pocus.
Not from Ice, but the other kid from
The
Hocus
other kid's
Pocus.
name I didn't even bother learning.
The bullies. They were just the bullies to me.
The bullies, the thugs, who
e-
steal Max's shoes after school in the graveyard. Why the hell is this kid riding his bike through the graveyard on his way home?
Might have been a shortcut, because I used to take a shortcut through the graveyard.
Okay, to be fair, I used to take a shortcut through the hospital parking lot when I was a kid. Well, it wasn't really it wasn't exactly the hospital. There was I could either walk all the way around, down the street, and around the apartment complex where the hospital staff lived, or I could go through the hospital parking lot and go down the stairs that the hospital staff used to get to their apartment and go that way. Take 10 minutes off my walk right there.
Yeah, see, I had a friend that lived a few streets down, and I could walk to his house, but I have to go down the main busy street, and it was a pain in the ass to cross at certain times of the day. But if you took a back road, the road lined up with the cemetery, and then you just went through one of the entrances, and you can kind of cut through it real quick. And I definitely never, during the day I might have gone through by myself, but at night I definitely never did.
Oh, hell no, I wouldn't have gotten anywhere near. I still won't go near a graveyard at night.
But we'll, at night we would, run through it really fast, or ride our bikes through it. Mm-hmm. Although, do you know what's pretty cool is they have Burial Hill down here in Plymouth.
Yeah.
It's where all, the pilgrims and old-timey people are buried. Mm-hmm. And you can't even, read the graves anymore just because they're so old. I've been through there at night. They give little tours through it at night, and then I don't know, you can go there midnight, 1 a.m. It's kind of creepy, and you see a lot of homeless people too.
Where I live, there's graveyard's probably a mile away. There's this huge graveyard on the hill. During the month of October, they do a historical walking tour. I haven't done it yet. I should maybe I will by the time this airs, but they do on a Saturday and a Sunday. They do these walking tours where they talk about the historical figures of the town that are buried in that graveyard.
Do you know any historical figures off the top of your head?
No, I don't.
All right, well, go on the tour and tell us.
Minnesota history. I am terrible. Okay. I know New Jersey Revolutionary War history. I know Colorado pioneer history, but Minnesota history I have not learned.
I know jack shit about Minnesota. All I know is that the Walsh family from Beverly Hills 90210 originated from there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I know too.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
It's cold?
Yes.
Does
cold.
Fargo take place there, or is that a different state?
No, it does take place here.
Okay, I knew that too. All right. So those are they're all entertainment related.
Yeah, they're all entertainment.
I don't know anything.
The Big C also takes place in Minnesota.
The show on Showtime, the cancer show?
Yeah.
I used to call it the C word for some reason. Because isn't there a show called the L word?
Yeah, there is.
So then they came up with a show called the Big C.
There were 2 shows called the L word.
Okay.
There was the drama, fictional, and then there was the real L word.
Was it a comedy?
Which was a reality show about lesbians living in LA or something.
Oh, okay. But
yeah.
I always messed up the Big C and the L word, so I call it the C word.
I think they were very different shows.
That's an embarrassing. Someone's like, "Oh, did you ever see what's the name of that show?" I'm like, "Oh, the C word."
The Big C.
That's what it's called. It was about cancer, right?
Yes.
Who was in it?
Laura Linney.
I was gonna say Laurie Metcalf, but it wasn't her.
No, it wasn't Laurie Metcalf. It was Laura Linney. And she was a woman who discovered she had
Cancer. Oh,
5 skin cancer or something. And she just kind of like resigned herself that she was going to die.
and then she didn't die.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't watch the final season because we canceled Showtime.
Oh, and then I always mix it up with Nurse Jackie too.
Really?
I don't know. Showtime has all these like weird like shows that just kind of they melded together in my mind. The only one I could differentiate was Weeds for some reason.
I'm not like the Big C was like really the only like Showtime show that we watched.
Okay, I think that they're all on Netflix, so maybe we can
Probably
branch out. So cut through graveyards. Max cuts through the graveyard. Is this where he runs into the bullies?
Yeah, this is where he runs into the bullies, and they make him give him his sneakers, his cross trainers.
Yeah, they were like cool shoes for the time. They were probably like they were like Jordans, but they probably just couldn't say Jordans on.
Yeah, they were like fancy hot shoes for the time or whatever.
So Max goes home barefoot, and he's like, "I hate this town. I hate this place." He's pissed off.
Which, if you are a teenager who has had to move across country, you have that moment.
So yeah, I've never experienced it, so I don't know.
Yeah, you have that moment. I had that moment like 10 freaking times my junior year of high school.
So you don't know anybody. Well, people in like high school are dicks, though.
Yeah, they're dicks, and you're in the school, and it's probably drastically different than where you went to school before.
And you're so far into high school.
What?
You're so far into high school that like no one gives you a chance, really.
Yeah, you're kind of just like, you don't know what's going on. Nobody, like, if you're lucky, maybe somebody has explained to you, like, how you're supposed to navigate everything at the school. I did not get that. I was just kind of like, okay, your classes are, like, here. And I'm like, wait, where? And then you get left to, like, try and figure everything out for yourself.
And you have to, like, figure out, like, who you're going to hang out with, who you're going to eat lunch with.
You got to figure out where I'm allowed to eat lunch. What am I supposed to do? When do my classes start? Where am I supposed to go?
Yeah. So you have to...
And then, like, I went to... Because I grew up in New Jersey, in the school there, you couldn't wear your jacket in school. You couldn't wear a cap. You couldn't have a bottle of water. You couldn't have anything with you in class, you know? Go to Colorado, and almost every single boy was wearing a baseball cap in class. People were wearing their jackets when it got cold.
People had water.
Everybody had soda, and they were calling soda pop. And you just get confused because you're like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, your brain's trying to catch up with what you're seeing, and you're trying to like get, because it's like a totally different world. Like the U.S. might be one country, but there are so many different subcultures based on what part of the country you're in that just moving to one part to another will just throw you through a total culture shock.
And I can imagine going, like, from the West Coast to the East Coast, too, now, like, where it's fucking cold.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be awful.
The East Coast, in my experience, is a bit more proper, strict, not as laid back. And the West Coast is laid back, a little more like whatever.
They wear tie-dye shirts.
Yeah, they wear their tie-dye shirts, and you go from wearing tie-dye, skateboarding with your friends down the hall or whatever, to a crazy teacher talking to you about witches.
Yeah, like you don't even know what witches are.
Like,
I think.
You're like, really, people? Like, you go from reading about the Salem witch trials in your textbook for like maybe a day or two, maybe a week at most, depending on like how your school system works, to living in the town where it happens. That's a shock.
And you were hearing like specific curses.
Yeah.
Like they're telling you like a very specific curse. It's in like no history book, but it's like down to the T. It's like, now it's a full moon and it's Halloween and a virgin lights his candle. And the
goddamn virgin.
The kid's like, shit, like This wasn't in my history book last year. Like we just read The Crucible. We just read The Crucible and called it a day.
Yeah. So Max gets home, and he's like, I hate this place. I hate these people, which is a totally normal reaction.
And the little sister appears to be like adjusting well. She's like...
Yeah, I think when you're younger, like in grade school, you can adjust a little bit faster because people are less asshole-ish.
Yeah, and plus she's still like into trick-or-treating, so she's actually...
she's still into trick-or-treating.
She's gonna get dressed up.
Yeah, she's dressed as a witch. She lives in town where, like, witches are the thing.
And she decides...
like, yeah, baby!
So she's up. She's all game for going trick-or-treating. The parents are going to some kind of, like, party.
Yeah, the parents, they've lived there for, like, a week. And the parents are already like, yeah, we're going to, like, the city Halloween party.
They have, like, friends. Well, like...
I guess, like...
One of them
met somebody.
One of them like must have gotten a job out there, so like probably has some kind of connection and knows like a few people.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing that I can imagine. They don't really specify why they moved out there.
Like one of them has to have some sort of job. I did think it was weird that the kid is just getting home from school and both parents were home.
Oh yeah, that is kind of weird. And they were like already plotting like their night. They're
like plotting their night. They're still working on unpacking the house.
Well, maybe it was like there was time. Maybe they just got there, and so like they had like a week or two off before they had to start working. Maybe. I mean, that's possible. I mean, I guess you don't want to like move all the way across the country, then start working on like a Monday, and you left on Friday.
Well, that's like okay. So when we moved from Colorado to Minnesota, we left on a Monday. We arrived on a Thursday, and moved into our apartment on Friday. And the boyfriend started work on Monday, so...
It was that fast? I don't know, I figured
yeah,
you, like...
it's that fast.
Kind of, like, get the lay of the land, maybe at least a week, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on...
No, it was that fast. Like, I didn't even give my job 2 weeks' notice.
You just kind of gave them, like, whatever.
Like, they knew that I was probably leaving. I told them I don't know when, because he was interviewing with several different companies, and they were all out of state. So we could have gone to Texas or Minnesota or California.
Hee-haw! You could have gone to Salem, Massachusetts.
That would be crazy if we were in the same state. That would be so weird. But yeah, so like I told my bosses, I was like, I know I'm leaving. I don't know when he's going to get the job offer and how much time
we have.
So they already started, like, as soon as I told them that, they started accepting applications and resumes for a new manager. But they didn't find one until, like, after I left.
Oh, yeah, that shit takes a while.
Yeah, and she didn't last long either.
Oh, good to know.
Most of their managers don't last long either.
Good to know. But the managers in Salem, Massachusetts make you start a week after you get there, we think. And, alright, so the parents are plotting their, like, Halloween night. They're gonna dress up and go to, like, the town party. And
they're gonna make Max take Danny trick-or-treating.
So Danny's the sister. They're making him take her trick-or-treating. And he doesn't dress up. He just, like, wears his regular clothes. He's like, fuck it. Yeah,
he wears his regular clothes and he puts on a pair of sunglasses.
So they start going trick-or-treating, and they run into the bullies again?
Yeah, they run in... Okay, so they go to this one house. They both have bags of candy. And the bullies have decided to set up a toll at the end of this person's house. Which really, I would have just gone and gotten the people whose house it is and been like, there are these two teenage guys out here trying to, like, steal our candy. But they're like, yeah, 10 candy bars and you can get by.
The candy toll.
And Danny's all like, no, I'm not paying you a toll. I have my big brother with me and he's not going to let you do that. She doesn't know that these are these jackasses that stole his shoes earlier.
And, like, beat him up, basically. So then the bullies realize that it's the Hollywood kid. They call him Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of just, like, hassle him again. Don't they steal something? They steal the candy from them, right? Like, all of it?
Yeah, he's like, here, take my candy, leave us alone.
So they take all of Max's candy.
Not that he cared about it, really.
No. So then they kind of get pissed and they end up at Allison's house somehow?
Mm-hmm.
Does he know
Danny gets upset. She runs away, and she, like, flops down dramatically on this, like, pile of hay in front of this person's house and rests her arm on a pumpkin and starts crying.
And then, does Max realize that he's at Allison's house? Or is they
No, he has no idea.
They just see some, like, crazy party and they go in?
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just, like, it's one of those big, fancy houses. They're like, ooh, rich people. They'll probably make us drink cider and bob for apples. Have people ever been like, oh, come in, have cider, bob for apples when you've gone trick-or-treating?
Never.
That never happened to me.
I've gone to rich people's houses.
The only time I ever went bobbing for apples was, like, one of my friends in, like, the 3rd or 4th grade, her birthday was Halloween, and she actually had, like, a Halloween birthday party one year, and there was an apple bob.
I don't think I've ever done it. I'd like to try it, though. Is it hard?
I remember it being hard. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be hard now that I, like, understand it better, but when you're, like, 9, you're like, what am I supposed to do? Put my head in this water and grab an apple with my mouth? What?
Yeah, first of all, I don't want to put my face in water that other people have put their face in and try to, like, grab an apple.
Okay, if it's
with my mouth.
And people have, like, the face makeup on, that greasy drugstore makeup, do you really want everybody putting their face in that?
Plus, like, someone might have, like, tried to bite another apple and they missed, and then, like, it floated away. Now you're going in, and, like, you're getting there, like, sloppy seconds. Fuck that. I'll go to fucking...
It'd be fun. I don't get it. Never...
I'll go to, like, the grocery store, just buy my own apple. Because you know what?
I'll just go to my fridge, grab the apples I picked off a tree myself.
You know what? And if you even caught the apple, I probably wouldn't even want to eat it. Like, there's probably candy and cake there. And Doritos.
Yeah, there's probably, like, all kinds of other goodies. Caramel apples. Candy corn.
Candy corn.
Yeah.
Alright, so... Max realizes that it's Allison's house, and he, like, talks to her for a minute. She's dressed up. She's dressed up in some, like, fancy, like, 17th, 18th century attire.
Mm-hmm.
And how do they get to the Sandersons' house? I might have phoned the
Allison and Danny are talking, and Danny is all, oh yeah, we learned about those witches today in school, and Allison's like, oh yeah, my mom used to run the museum, so I know all about them. And Danny's like, oh really? Yeah, and Allison's like, yeah, I even have the keys to the museum. And Max is all like, let's go.
That's
Allison's like, okay, I'll go change.
And so she's like, Mom...
Why is she going with him? She didn't take his number earlier. She obviously doesn't want to hang out with him.
I don't know, maybe she's playing hard to get.
She confuses me.
Or maybe she's working, like, in cahoots with the Sanderson sisters.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Like, well, you know what? Here's the thing. I wondered. She gave Max back the paper with, his number on it, but he never checked to see if, like, maybe she wrote him a note or something.
Like, on the back side of the paper?
Yeah.
Like, come over early tonight. Here's my address.
Yeah, like, here's my address. Come over.
I will make you a man.
We'll have apple cider and we'll bob for apples.
And wear old-timey clothes.
Yeah. Oh, God, that looks like the most boring Halloween party.
And it wasn't the Halloween party that Max's parents are going to. They're going to, like...
it's like this rich people Halloween party where everybody is dressed in, like, colonial attire.
Are they proper?
Yeah.
Like, do you think there's, like, senators at this party and, like, congressmen?
Probably, like, the mayor's there. There's probably senators, maybe the governor. which is supposed to be like a wealthy family.
A stripper.
Yeah, the stripper he's got on the side, it's totally classed it up in her costume for the night.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why the parents are cool with, like, just letting Allison go out, like, all hours of the night. Like,
We probably didn't even notice she left, let's be real.
was it a school night, or was this, like, a weekend?
I
Do we
have
know?
to look up the calendar for 1993.
Do you have the calendar for
But
1993?
1994 was a Monday. Maybe...
It was either a Sunday or Saturday if there was a leap year.
Yeah, I think it was like a Sunday night. But they were in school, so... I don't know.
So they head down to the Sandersons' house.
Yeah.
And they kind of just, like, go through everything. They're just kind of, like, rifling through all the old
they're
artifacts.
kind of, like, exploring everything. Max picks up, like, everything's covered in, like, it's caked in dust.
Like,
Caked in
cobwebs.
dust. Yeah.
Dust, cobwebs. But it still looks, like, as we said earlier, it looks exactly how it looked in 1693. It's just, like, there's new layers of dust on top of it. So...
Halloween 1993 was a Sunday.
Okay. So this is a Sunday night. They're basically just out. It's, like, starting to get late. Like, really late.
Yeah.
And they essentially have broken into this place. They're trespassing. Now...
Yeah, nobody knows they're there. They don't really have permission to be there.
I guess if there's that much dust, it must have been, like, closed down for a while. So
Yeah.
Who even knows if the mother technically still owns the place?
Yeah, I don't think she owned it. I think she's just in charge. Like,
She works
whatever
there.
charity group you have of Massachusetts rich ladies was in charge of it.
Like the Rich White Women Society of Salem.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I guess Max has a lighter or something, or he finds a
Well, he
lighter.
got it from, like, the souvenir display.
Okay, so why does he light the candle though? I don't even know why. Is it
Because
dark?
he's a stupid 15-year-old boy who doesn't believe in any of this stuff. He's like, ooh, let me light this candle. And they're like, don't do it!
And then it's not
And
even
of course
like,
he's a virgin, so...
and it's not like there's like a few seconds where like they're like, see, it was all fake. Like immediately crazy shit starts happening.
Yeah.
Like there's sparks, there's like colored smoke, like everything's shaking, there's weird noises. And then all of a sudden, like, the Sanderson sisters just, like, show up at the door? Or do they just, like
Like,
appear?
they just kind of, like, poof, they're there.
They're there. There's, like, a cloud of smoke. And the kids are hiding. Like, Danny, Allison, and Max are, like, hiding strategically.
Yeah, and Max got attacked by Biggs the cat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. So Thackeray, the cat, attacks him first. Basically trying to stop him, because that's what Thackeray does as a cat. He stops virgins from lighting candles.
He's made his mission. If he's gonna live forever, he might as well, like, try and keep these witches from coming back.
And he did a really shitty job at it, too.
You know, he tried, but that stupid 15-year-old Max is just determined.
Why didn't he just knock over the candle? Like, just knock the candle over.
I don't think that was gonna stop Max.
Yeah, but he could have knocked the candle over first and then gone after Max. Maybe, like, bite him in the nuts.
Let's be real. I don't think Binks was thinking about that.
I don't know. Like, as I watch this movie, I was just thinking of ways, like, this whole thing could have been avoided. And sometimes, like, I always want to see the movie where, like, everything's avoided.
Everything's avoided. That'd be a really boring movie.
Yeah, but don't you ever wonder, like, what Hocus Pocus world would happen if the witches never came back? There's got to be a fan fiction based on that, right?
Oh yeah, there's gotta be.
Like, Hocus Pocus, if Hocus Pocus never happened. So the witches are back.
Yes.
The teens are in the museum / Sanderson house.
Yes.
And they're hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kathy Najimy has the power of, like, smelling children.
Yes, she can smell children.
Which is a weird power to have.
Have you never read The Witches by Roald Dahl?
I did. Do they smell children?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Like, if you're clean, a witch can't smell you. If you're dirty, a witch can. No, wait, it's the other way around.
But I guess just in Hocus Pocus, though, if you're a kid, though, I guess you let out a certain scent, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
So she senses that there's children in the room. So one of them, like, reveals himself. I can't remember who it was, though.
Danny.
So Danny reveals herself.
The little girl.
So she's, like, dressed as a witch, so maybe she thought that she could trick them?
Yeah, she's like, oh, sisters, so good of you to finally show.
And right off the bat, they decide that they want, like, she's the one that they need to kidnap and, like, steal her soul.
Yeah, they single in on her, not thinking, ooh, there's tons of other kids around. Gotta have this one.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I didn't get. So the whole thing is, so now they have to, I guess, suck the soul of a child before the sun rises.
Yeah.
Now, they hone in on Danny specifically. Like, they need her for some reason, I guess, to get things rolling. I don't really know.
Well, at first, like, there's the commotion in the... Excuse me.
Was that a dog?
No, that was me hiccuping.
That is the first hiccup in the podcast.
Yes. They, like, have their little freak out with the kids. And Max gets them out because he's like, I am the great Max. And he lights, like, the lighter... something so that the sprinkler system goes out.
Oh,
off.
Yeah, so he kind of like pretends that he has magic powers because the witches just woke up into modern days, so they don't know about like modern technology. So
yeah, they have no clue about modern technology.
So all you have to do is basically just take heat and run it under the sensor on the sprinkler, and all the sprinklers go off. And they said it was like rain and death, or like water of death, or something like that. So
yeah, something like ridiculous. But these witches don't know any better.
Yeah, well,
they're like, melting. And they're like, wait,
it's just
regular water.
So the kids basically take off. So now the witches and the teens are separated. So all the witches had...
the kids have the spell book.
Okay. Oh, so they took the book.
They took the spell book, and that is why the witches want them.
So I guess there was potion too, right? Like already made?
Yeah, there's a recipe for the potion, and the potion recipe is in the book.
All right, so that's why the witches need to get the kids.
Yes.
All right, because I was thinking, like, why can't they just find another kid, like, right off the bat?
Yeah.
And just put an end to the whole movie, like, right away.
Yeah, no, because they need a potion.
So now we can... Yes. So now we can...
has the potion and the kids have the book.
So now we kind of get this, like, wild goose chase. So now the Sanderson sisters are, like, in the town of Salem, like, outside of their, like, creepy, like, woods area. And there's just, like, thousands and hundreds of kids, like, trick-or-treating, but they're all dressed up in costume.
Yeah. So, like, they smell, like, Mary smells the kids, but she doesn't see the kids because she doesn't realize that the kids are all these, like, little things running around.
And so I guess the witch's master is Satan.
Yeah.
So they're walking by a house, and they see a guy dressed as Satan answering the door, and he's handing out candy.
Yeah. And
they're like, it's our master. We have to go to him for guidance.
Well, yeah, he has this whole yard, though, like, set up like it's Satan, like it's hell, because he's got flames on the fence. And he's got, like, this red light glowing from his foyer. So when he opens the door for the trick-or-treaters, it looks like it's hell.
And this is Gary Marshall, by the way, who he...
Yes, it's Gary Marshall.
Mentioned previously. So it's Gary Marshall is Satan. He's just wearing that, like, cheap spandex Satan costume with, like, the devil horns.
He went down to the Express Halloween store, Spirit Halloween store, whatever it is, picked up the Satan costume in his size.
And now these three witches come to him for guidance, and he plays along with it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, there's cute ladies dressed as the Sanderson sisters. They want my attention, of course.
So he invites them in the house, and he's basically, like, feeding them information. And they're going along with it like it's real. And then...
Well, they think it is real.
And then, so Penny Marshall plays Satan's wife, and she has like curlers in her hair, and they
she's got those bendable curlers where like they're like a piece of wire and they're like covered in rubber.
They're very serpentine looking too.
Yeah, so they think she's Medusa.
So yeah, and then
her hair, the curlers look like snakes.
They did, and she was kind of a bitch too.
Mm-hmm.
Really mean to them. And then
you know what? She's probably not into Halloween. She's got this crazy ass husband who's making the house look like hell. He's dressed up like the devil. She just wants to eat a goddamn Clark bar and watch Charlie fucking Brown. And
then there's three ladies in the house. Like, was Gary Marshall trying to like initiate like an orgy? Like, what was going on here?
There was something. The wife was not happy about those ladies in that house. That's for sure.
I didn't understand why like he invited them in the house.
I don't either. But I just realized we forgot all about the graveyard.
Okay, so the kids hide in the graveyard, right?
Because it's hallowed ground, yeah.
So.
But Winifred, because the sisters are on their brooms, they can fly over it, and they're trying to like attack the kids. So they like and get the book back. And Winifred raises her old boyfriend Billy from the grave. So you got a zombie wandering around as well. So now we have a zombie on the loose whose mouth is like wired shut because he doesn't speak. Stone shut. And he's like the most inept zombie ever. Like his head falls off all the time. Like body parts fall off. Get like crushed by the pothole, the sewer cover. Yeah, like he's going after the kids, and he's easily defeatable. Yeah. like his head falls off, it rolls on the street, and he has to like pick it up and put it back on. Mm-hmm. And the witches can't go on the graveyard ground for something? I don't understand that. It's hallowed ground. It's like sacred ground. Was it like blessed by a priest? Like probably. But they can fly over it, no problem. Yeah. They can float over it, they can hover over it, they can get really close to the ground. They just can't touch it. They can't touch it. If they touch it, they'll start to turn to stone and dust. Yep. We learn that later. Spoiler alert. Oh, man. I mean, I'm sure whoever's listening to this has probably seen the movie anyway, so it doesn't matter. I hope they've seen it. If you haven't seen it, you gotta make a night out of it. You make some popcorn, you get some candy, your favorite, like, movie candy, you curl up with your blanket, you get some, like, apple cider sangria. You get some candles. Watch it off the TV. Pumpkin beer, whatever. Make a night of it. Whatever you want. Whatever you want, bro. So, somehow Bette Midler realizes that the devil isn't really the devil. He's fake. So they escape the house, and she's like, "There's something wrong about this. This is strange." So they take a mask off one of the kids, and they just see it's a child. So they're like, okay. So they just like finally figured out what Halloween was. Yeah, they realized that Halloween is not what they thought. It's not what it was 300 years ago. It's like a night of fun now. Yeah, it's like a party, and it literally is, and it's a party. You dress up like sluts, or a devil, or a witch, like whatever the hell you want. Whatever you want. Like, the magic is gone. One day of the year, you can be anything you want, and no one's really going to judge you. No, so now they resume looking for the kids again. And is this where they discover the bus line? Oh, they get chased out of the house by a dog. The kids... Well, this is where the kids go to the party and find the mom and dad. And the witches took the bus into town. They took the bus at some point. I don't have it in my notes. Well, they were chasing the kids. Mm-hmm. They're trying to find them, and they somehow get on the bus. Mm-hmm.
And so they don't really understand the concept of a bus. So the bus driver like is going along with it, and he's like explaining to them what a bus is. Then he lets Sarah Jessica Parker sit on his lap and drive the bus.
And she drives it over Binks.
And she drives it over the cat. The cat doesn't die though, because he is unkillable. So he returns to life. And then the kids go to the Halloween party where the parents are at. And they're trying to...
First, they, like, stop and talk to this guy who they think is a cop. But it's just, like, some guy in a costume.
Yeah, so there's a cop on a motorcycle.
Because Danny has to be like, my brother's a virgin and he lit the candle. The guy's like, really, kid? You're a virgin? Come on now. It's, like, so weird.
It was a weird scene.
There's no way this guy was a cop. Like, if they were thinking about it, they'd be like, this is not the question a cop would be asking right now.
Well, I thought it was funny because... All right, so he's like... he looks like a cop. He's dressed like a cop. He's sitting on a motorcycle. Max, Danny, and Allison run up, and they're, like, telling this whole story. And then he's like, all right, I'll take care of it. And the kids run away. And then this, like, slutty-looking, like, prostitute comes out and gets in the back of the, on the back of the bike. And she's like, what was that all about? And he's like, they thought I was a cop. And then they just, like, drive off. Like, there's... I don't even know why they put that in the movie. There's no need for this.
So random.
Because even if it was a cop, like all the other adults in the movie would have just been like, like the Sanderson witch, like...
Yeah, like, nobody is like, oh, really? Like
what happens next? They go to the party the parents are at.
They go to the party.
There's like
Dad's dressed up as Dracula. The mom is dressed as Madonna.
Yeah, this is like our third Madonna of this Halloween season.
Someone is finally dressed as Madonna for Halloween.
And there's a band playing.
Yeah.
So the kid, Max decides he's going to go on stage, and he, like, announces to the whole town. He explains everything that's happened thus far, and then at that moment, the Sanderson sisters, like, they show up.
Yeah.
And now everyone in the party just thinks it's, like, part of the act. Like, it's, like, a joke or, like, a trick.
They think it's, like, some special performance. These crazy ladies dressed as the Sanderson sisters. Because magic's not real. Come on, people.
Then the Sanderson sisters break into a song.
I put a spell on you, and now you're mine.
Which is funny because it's like a song from like the 50s or 60s that they know the lyrics to.
Yeah.
So then Bette Midler puts a spell on the town, all the adults in the town, where they're just going to dance until they die.
Yeah, pretty much. They're just going to dance all night.
They don't stop dancing, which I guess was a good idea because then it kind of like keeps the adults at bay, which allows like
all the parents are like dancing at the party. That gives the witches free range on all the children.
And basically lets the kids stay out all night without like being questioned by anybody.
Exactly.
So at this point, the kids kind of get smart and they're like, we need to like trick the sisters somehow.
Yeah.
So he's like, I have an idea. Like, let's have them chase us to the school. Mm-hmm. And they use like the school's PA system.
Yes, the school, which one of the sisters says, it smells like a prison for children.
I mean, I guess it is, right?
Yeah.
So they use the school's PA system to like lure the witches there, and then they put like one of the speakers in like I guess like a furnace room. Like what kind of room was that in the school?
It's a kiln.
It's a what?
It's a pottery kiln.
Okay. So they throw the sisters in the room. They lock the door, and then they turn on the furnace and burn them alive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I can't believe they would have that in a school.
Like in a school that has money, yeah.
Yeah, but that big, like a pottery kiln that big.
Maybe, yeah.
Like a room size. Like I am surprised. No other children like have accidentally been locked in there and burned to death.
I mean. It's not like it's a huge room. It's like a walk-in closet size room.
Well, it fit 3 adults. So, like, I'm just surprised that, like, a kid didn't get in there one day by accident and then, like, the pottery teacher decided to, like, turn the kiln on.
I'm sure there's like measures against that or something.
Like maybe in the beginning of the movie, if Max played his cards right, he could have lost his virginity in there and then avoided this whole mess.
Maybe, and then none of this would have ever happened.
All right, so then they think they won.
Yeah.
So they actually like burn the witches. There's nothing left. Like they see
they think there's no reason for them not to think they did what they needed to do.
Like they see the purple smoke like floating away, so that must be like the magic of the sisters. They are gone. Then they retreat back to Max's house where they all decide to they have the spell book with them too, right?
Yeah, they still have the spell book.
All right, so they go back and Max and Allison sleep in the same bed.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a little getting a little frisky there. So, like as I said, they should have done that earlier, and then maybe this whole thing would have been avoided.
They didn't do anything. They haven't even like kissed yet.
Yeah, I think they were just tired. They just actually like fell asleep.
Yeah, like they just fell asleep. Like they think they have like defeated the witches, so they all fall asleep. One problem though. The witches survived.
Yep, the smoke gets sucked back into the school, like the purple smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And they reform, and they come out of the kiln, and now they're, like, looking out the window. And I guess Bette Midler has a way where she can, like, reference the book, and the book will, like, glow, and she can see it, like, all the way across town.
First they run into the bullies.
Oh, that's right, okay.
It's 3 a.m. The bullies are out. They've been, like, TPing houses. Ice is sick because he's been eating all of Max's candy all night. You're like, I want to see some ladies take off their costumes. The other one's like, it's 3 a.m. They already took off their costumes.
I mean, that is true, right?
Yeah.
But they run into the 3 witches.
The witches, because they're sniffing around for Max's scent, and they come across the shoes.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they kidnap.
The bullies are jackasses to the witches, called them ugly. So what do the witches do? They lock them up in cages,
like those like Hansel and Gretel cages that are like above flames. Yeah. So now they're like chained up, and then I don't know. This is where Bette Midler has like the power to like summon the book.
And Allison just happens to open it, thinking that okay, the witches are gone. Maybe we can find a spell to save Binks, to free Binks.
Make him like a human.
Yeah, or let him peacefully join his family, something. Well, they open the book, and it starts glowing orange, like this orange light. Which, I don't know, that would freak me out if my book starts glowing.
It basically is like a lighthouse.
Yeah.
So, now Bette Midler can see the book, so she knows...
so it's basically like a beacon GPS kind of thing.
So she's...
It's like this orange light shooting out the top of the house.
And
they're able to like get there because they fly on a broom and a mop and a vacuum.
All right, well, because let's just say earlier in the movie, when they were at Satan's house, 3 kids stole the witch's brooms and flew off on them.
3 little girls dressed as the Sanderson sisters
fly off on the brooms. Now, whatever happened to them? We don't know.
I know.
So, for the rest of the night, there's 3 girls flying around on the Sanderson sisters' brooms.
Yeah.
So, the Sanderson sisters have to replace. So, they happen to have 1 extra broom, a mop, and a vacuum.
Yes.
Which, apparently, you just need something that, like, cleans floors. That's all, like...
Apparently, that's how it works, yeah.
Like, they don't just have the ability just to fly on their own.
Why not just a tree branch?
Yeah, no, but it has to be something that cleans the floor.
I guess so.
So then they fly off. They're flying towards Max's house. They go in and they take the book and Danny.
Mm-hmm.
And they like blow up like half the house in the process too.
Well, Max and Allison are about to kiss. They just happen to be finding the salt in the pantry when they hear the commotion.
Oh yeah, because all right. So now they learn that salt is like a weapon against the witches. Like they can create a circle around the salt, or they can throw the salt.
If you put a circle of salt around you, you will be protected.
And apparently, you can also throw the salt at them too.
Yeah.
Okay, so salt is bad.
Salt is a deterrent for the evil magical.
Okay. So they grabbed like one like little carton of salt.
Well, it wasn't little. It's like your regular size thing that you get.
Yeah, but we don't know how much is in there though. It could have been like half
That's
used
true.
already. And I would have definitely looked for more.
Well, the parents just moved there. It's obviously whatever was left from their old pantry.
I still would have looked for more. She didn't make an effort to look for more.
True.
So now, Danny's taken back to
The witch's house.
the witch's house. So now the Max and Allison have to go and and save her.
Yes.
Now, well, they get her back. So the anticlimactic scene is at the graveyard, or is it at the house?
No. Okay, so they go to the house. There's one thing that Max knows the witches don't. Daylight savings time. So Max and Allison get a truck. I don't know where they get the truck from. I don't know why they know how to drive so well. But they also get some like color cellophane so that when they turn on the bright lights of the headlights, it looks like the sun is rising.
Yeah, they had a real short window of time to prepare for this too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you had to find red cellophane in a truck, like, it would take me forever. Especially to find the red cellophane.
Especially at 5 a.m.?
Yeah, like, where do you have red cellophane, like, anywhere in your apartment?
Not that I'm aware of.
Alright, would you know where to get red cellophane at 5 in the morning?
Walmart?
And unless it's 24 hours, you'd have to break in and find it.
Yeah, ours is 24 hours, but...
Alright, in 1993 it probably wasn't 24 hours, so...
No,
I don't know,
probably not.
they find red cellophane, they find a truck, maybe it was Max's parents' truck, who knows. They drive it to the Sandersons' house, so Max has this thing where he pretends the sun's rising, and she turns the lights on, right at the nick of time. Like, I don't know how she knew when to turn the light on, because it wasn't like they had walkie-talkies or anything.
Yeah.
So now the Sanderson sisters see the light. So now they think they're dying.
They think they're dying. They're like, I'm dying. They're so over the top and dramatic.
And they actually fall on the ground together. Max grabs Danny and he leaves the bullies there. I believe
But he knocks over the potion. There's only a little vial of potion left.
Just enough for them to kill one person, right?
Yeah, the one they need to last the night. They just need one kid. And this is where they become obsessed with Danny.
Yeah, they could have used either one of those two kids they had trapped.
One of the two kids they had, or one of the 300 walking up to their door.
Oh yeah, because Sarah Jessica Parker did that siren spell where she summoned all the kids.
Little children. Yeah.
So she flies through the night on her broomstick, and the children follow her back to the house. And yeah, so now there's 100 kids around. But Max, Danny, and Allison know that they're safe inside the graveyard. So they go back to the graveyard. They make the circle of salt, and then
first Winifred is at the gate, threatening them, and Billy, the zombie, is there, and he takes Max's knife. As Allison and Danny run, Billy cuts his stitches so that he can speak again. And you think he's all Team Winifred, but he goes off on Winifred instead.
Yeah, so now he's with the gang, with the kids.
Yeah, he's with the kids.
Was he just chasing them the whole movie just to explain that to him? I don't know.
Probably. He was actually probably in need of help.
Yeah, he's trying to yeah, because actually, you know what? Anytime he was ever near them, he wasn't actually trying to hurt them.
Exactly.
So he was probably just trying to catch them, hey guys, wait up, I need to explain myself. But they just kept running away. So now, he's on their team, so they make this circle of salt. They're all sitting in there. But they're all, the witches are floating over, and they knock off Billy's head.
Yeah, and Danny, being the helpful little child that she is, goes to get the head, which takes her out of the circle, out of the protection, and into danger.
So then the witches grab her.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of in our final battle.
Yes, this is the epic battle.
And it's pretty lackluster.
Well, it's they've got Danny and Max ends up with the potion, and Max drinks it. He's like, you have to take me instead of her. So he's sacrificing himself for his sister.
So he starts glowing.
Yes.
So now the witches kind of like float over and they start like sucking his soul, I guess.
Like they're like Winifred's trying, but she falls. She gets off her broom. Like her broom gets knocked from her or something. But she's like holding on to Max, sucking his soul. That sounded really wrong.
Yeah.
Sucking his soul. But she's standing on the ground, and you can see that her feet start to like smoke and sizzle, and she starts to turn to stone just as the sun is rising. And so she's not able to breathe in the youth of Max or whatever. In time. So she turns to stone, and then she bursts into dust.
Then the remaining two witches are just floating around, and they're just kind of like, if we give up.
They're like, oh no, it's over, and they like
explode.
Into dust.
They explode in the sky.
Yeah.
And then probably the saddest part of the whole movie is when the little girl is looking for Thackeray the cat. Yeah. And they just find his dead body.
On his sister's grave.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't pick up on that. So they find a dead cat on his sister's grave, and they're all like sad. But Thackeray comes back as a human ghost. Yeah. And he's like, it's okay. He's like, I've been alive for 300 years. It's my time to go. And then he's
like, I'm finally reunited with my family. It's okay, guys.
And then the sister's ghost comes out, and they kind of just like walk down holding hands, and they're like, we'll see you again someday.
Yeah.
And that's Hocus Pocus.
Yes, it is.
I can't believe you made me watch that.
It is a Halloween classic.
I mean, I guess it's good for what it is, like a horror movie for like 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm watching, I'm just like, this movie could have been avoided in so many ways.
Let's be real, most of these movies we watch could be avoided in so many ways.
Well, I mean, for both the witches and the good guys, like, I don't know, there's just so much, like, it's really tough to watch a movie that, like, where you have like a powerful force that are against like kids, because it's just like, how do the kids just keep thwarting like the witches? The witches could have just easily like have done a spell or something and
dumb luck,
just done with it all. Like this, so the witches like put a spell on the parents to make them like dance forever. Why couldn't they just do that for the kids and distract them?
Because they don't want the kids dancing; they want the kids' souls.
Yeah, but I mean, it would have definitely like kept them from running, though.
Yeah,
they would have been stuck in the same place, and then they could have gotten the book, and then they could have done the spell. I don't know. And then like the witches make Thackeray live forever as a cat. Like he's probably more deadly to them of being alive forever because he has all this time to like kind of plot.
Exactly, and he can like prevent people from like trying to light the candle.
Yeah.
Who knows how many people he prevented though?
I mean, how many times has there been a full moon between 1693 and 1993 on Halloween?
Probably quite a few.
And how many of those nights were there virgins on the property?
Who knows?
But, I mean, I'm sure, like, as a preventative measure, he probably was just there every night, maybe?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what else is he going to do?
He was, like, always there.
Like, what else was he going to do? And then, I don't know, there's just so much. I don't know. But, I mean, it's a Disney movie. It's for kids, so you kind of have to dumb down the villains. Like, it can't be like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that's true.
And have, like, dead teens every 2 minutes.
Very true.
So, I mean, it's definitely a movie for its demographic, which is probably, like, 10 to 12-year-olds. And I think at the time when the movie came out, I was, like, just at that age where I was probably not into this kind of stuff anymore. Hence,
like, I was probably about 11 years old, so I remember going to see the movie with my mom and brothers, so
I felt like it probably came out at a time where I would rather watch, like, a rated R Halloween movie, so yeah, hence probably. Why I escaped this movie for 23 years and I finally saw it. But I mean, it wasn't, like, that bad of a movie. I definitely wouldn't, like, say it was a Halloween classic, though.
It is.
I don't know. I feel like Monster Squad is similar type movie, and I feel like it did it much better.
I've never even seen Monster Squad.
It's basically the same plot. It's like teenagers against monsters, and they just happen to be like the universal monsters.
Oh, okay.
So it's essentially the same plot, but it's.
I think I put it in my Netflix queue. I just haven't watched it yet.
It's a little more graphic because it's not a Disney movie,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of like as like graphic as The Goonies is graphic.
Okay.
So it's for older kids.
Yeah.
Whose parents let them watch movies where people like swear and talk about nuts and stuff. But we made it through Halloween.
Yes, we did.
And we're basically just going to be creeping back into sitcom land again next week.
Yes, next week.
A nice...
We have a fun one next week.
Now, this is one... You said this was a spin-off of Family Ties?
Yes, it is.
Now, I've never seen this show, but I guess this is a well-known episode.
Like, this is... If you've heard of this show, this is the episode you know.
Now, the show is called Day by Day.
Yes.
And now who stars in the show? Just off the top of your head. We don't need to Google or anything. Anyone?
The most famous names would be Courtney Thorne-Smith and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Okay. Totally down with that. So we're watching the episode in which one of the characters daydreams and...
About being a Brady.
So they are in a Brady Bunch episode.
Yeah.
So that sounds like an exciting palate cleanser of the Halloween season.
Yeah.
I mean, what other way to get into, like, back in a sitcom feeling than, like, a show that's just about a kid who daydreams he's a Brady?
Exactly. That's just perfect.
And you can find this on YouTube, I think?
Yes. You can do a Google search. You will find it right away on YouTube.
And if you want to watch Hocus Pocus, you probably missed every night it was on this last week. But you can buy it on...
Yeah, I'm sure it's been on Lifetime and ABC Family.
You can buy...
And Lord only knows what other channels.
You can buy it on iTunes or rent it on YouTube, iTunes for $3. Or you can watch like a really weird version of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I guess that's Halloween. That's this week's episode. And as always...
Bye!
Until next time. Peace.